Peace, peace. This is Bastard Brown. Built in the mind, live in the man, speaking the real. Let's build the cycle.
Peace, peace, peace. Welcome to Build the Cipher with your host, Master Brownseed. We're on episode 19, The Weight of Responsibility when the Civilized Fall Silent. The consequence of silence from the conscious. If those with knowledge and righteousness fail to teach the uncivilized, they're held accountable not for what they did, but for what they didn't do. It's not just neglect, it's a betrayal of divine duty, God. You know what I mean? The meaning of duty. Let's look at the 19th degree and knowledge born degree where it says, if a civilized person does not perform his duty, what must be done? If a civilized person does not perform his duty, which is teaching civilization to others, he shall be punished a severe punishment, right? A duty is more than an obligation. It is a divine assignment from the author of all things, right? Civilized only means one having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and refinement, and is not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. Without action, knowledge is dead. Say it again. Without action, knowledge is dead. That's why we say the knowledge can be born alive or it can be born dead. Without action, knowledge is dead. If you're not putting this knowledge to any use, then the knowledge that you got is dead. It's unuseful to anybody because you're not using it to help, support, teach, civilize, or do anything with the knowledge that you possess. So it's unuseful land to us. It can't be used, God. You know what I mean? If you know there's a fire burning and you do not warn the people, you are just as guilty for that burn. Did you know that? If you know that there's a fire burning and you do not warn the people, you are just as guilty for the burn, God. Let's look at consequences of inaction, right? How inaction allows evil to thrive. Here's a quote. The only thing necessary for evil to thrive, to triumph, is when good men do nothing. Let's say it again. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing, God. You know what I mean? That's the only way evil can triumph if good men stand there and do nothing about it, right? Let's talk about that silence from a righteous perspective, coming into our own space, right? When you know that there's brothers in your nation not doing right and exact, they're living an unrighteous life, they're acting other than their self, they're doing things to women, domestic violence, they're hurting children, molesting children, and you know this, and you stay silent, you're just as guilty, God. You might as well be the molester. You might as well be the person beating on that woman. You might as well be the person pulling that gun out, robbing somebody, God. Because you felt silent to warn the people about the evil that was coming into their space, God. When you let that evil thrive in that space, God, it causes confusion, it causes fear, and it causes destruction. If the builders are not building, then it gives the destroyers time to take over, God. If we're not building, the destroyers take over. Think about that, man. I have to ask y'all, who are you teaching? All right? Who are you teaching? Who are you passing the knowledge to? Are you passing this knowledge off to some young brothers out there? Are you teaching these young brothers? Are you passing this knowledge on to your children? Are you passing it to your work, your woman, your earth, your queen? Are you passing these teachings off to the community? Who are you building in your cipher? Is there a cipher going on in your community? Are you building with the people in your cipher? Because cipher can be the community. It can be in the center. It can be wherever it's at. Who are you building? What are you adding on to? Are you just concealing? Because we don't conceal, God. We reveal the truth, right? Are you walking past people in darkness and holding the light to yourself? Don't hoard the light. Shine the light. Even if it's uncomfortable, right? You have to shine this light, God, even if it makes you uncomfortable. A lion raised no pups, and we have a duty to teach. It says Ezekiel 3:18, and when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die. If thou givest thou warning, nor warn the wicked of his wicked ways to save his own life, the same man shall die in his own iniquity, but the blow be required thy head, God. St. Luke 12, verse 47 says, and that servant which knew his Lord's will, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes, God. So if you understand the knowledge of the bill, then you understand what is the duty of a civilized person, to teach he who is uncivilized. Civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, and the signs of everything in life. I know some of your degree might say savage, but we don't teach savages, God. A savage is a person who lost all knowledge of himself and is living a peaceful way of life. Why would I teach them? I teach those who do not know their origin in this world and worship that which they know not of. So those are whom we teach, God, the uncivilized. That is a duty that we have, God. It's a contract that we signed, sealed, and said, this is our duty to teach. And we're supposed to continue to do that, brother. But like I said, this is going to be a short day of a bill. I'm about to give y'all some affirmations too. You know, the affirmations I always give out to y'all. I hope y'all like the affirmation I'm giving to y'all. But I want y'all to affirm this. Each word I share is a seed of civilization. Affirmation. Affirm this. Each word I share is a seed of civilization, right? I do not sit silent while my people suffer. I do not sit silent while my people suffer, right? I do not fear the weight of my duty. I welcome it. I do not fear the weight of my duty. I welcome it. These are today's affirmations for y'all. I want you to take those affirmations, repeat them to yourself, make them useful in your life, right? And remember your duty as civilized people, right? Civilized only means a person who is civil. Look at the word, you got civil, civilized. Being civil is knowing how to be amongst people, how to talk, how to act, how to eat, how to dress. We carry ourselves in a civilized manner, right? Culture and refinement, God. That's what we deal with. If those who are not doing their duty, you are that said person of that ability. A person who said he was this, and he's not that no more. That's okay. Be that person. But I'm that person who's going to do my duty each and every day and live out the righteous way, because that's what God does. Again, this is your host, Master Brown Seed. This is Build the Cipher. I want you to continue to hit that like button, share, subscribe to my channel, and we will have more useful episodes coming. Every Tuesday and Friday is when I drop an episode. This was episode 19. I want to say peace to all the human families. Peace to the nation of 5%. Always remember, if you ain't going to do nothing else, build the cipher. Peace.